Thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Mental Maintenance. Yeah, we're gonna just I got a this is a bunch of shows and a bunch of topics and things that I want to talk about. Some of them might seem a little weird, like the one that I have to talk about today. Before we get into it, though, let me just kind of intro this, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I just kind of want to make sure that we're in like a little bit of a relaxed mood as we kind of ease into things. So a little something to just kind of play out like that for a little bit. Um all right. The topic that we're going to do today is honoring your elders, which is a weird one, I guess. I mean, it's not a weird one. It is something that should be familiar to all of us in some extent. Um but I just kind of want to discuss like how exactly we do these things and what they exactly may mean. So, honoring your elders. Um okay. There's in a lot of cultures there exists this idea of the people who are older than you are someone who you should have almost like a reverence to. A lot of Asian cultures, you see these things, but not just Asian cultures. You see it across a lot of cultures, and all of us have had some type of discipline around these things. Don't disrespect your parent. Don't disrespect your grandparent. Why are you talking like that to so and so? Just different things that we see throughout our lives. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, we grow up kind of having some discipline on it. Is there any need for us to like worry about that anymore? But fast forward to today, like where a lot of us are either transitioning into becoming adults or have been adults for a little bit of time. Um, is it something to reconsider, like think about? There's different stages in all of our lives, different chapters. So, what is it to say that, you shouldn't be re examining what exactly there is for you to learn? Let's look at it like that. What exactly is it that is so problematic about you just spending a little bit of time thinking about that? And that's what I want to do now. So, how do you honor your elders? Respect maybe can even extend out to how do you do these things? Um, Heed the advice they tell you. Just giving them enough time to just hear what they have to say. Listen, there's going to be people in your life who are more or less surrounded in negative energy as it involves you. But like there are others that are going to be the exact opposite of that. So for the ones that you do recognize as being the opposite of that, having enough patience to be able to hear what they have to say, actually making sure you're giving yourself enough time to absorb it, because we live in a generation now where everything is like rapid. We want things rapid. Instant gratification is one phrase that's being used to describe it. um but whatever it is, there is some evidence that that is what occurs in our generation a little bit more than it has in others. So actually realizing, okay, what do I need to do to give myself the ability to be able to have that patience to hear those things out, as I'm trying to continue on this journey that I'm on. Yeah, really, really good. So I guess before even heed their advice, it's just give yourself patience with them. They're gonna have a lot of different opinions and such, but the positive things that you can take, try to make sure that you have the patience to figure out how to solve those things, how to sort through those things. Um, just being able to see what kind of gives that feeling. I guess it's kind of, I don't know, for me at least. Maybe I shouldn't generalize it as a feeling because it may not occur like that for other people, but for me it's kind of like if anybody, that I'm a comic and geek and nerd guy. So if anybody, I feel like most people can get this reference, but how Spider-Man has his spider sense. Uh, if you watch anime, Deku has his danger sense. But a little side bit, Squad Nero podcast, guys. But yeah, I get like when it sounds like something that it's like a gut feeling, I guess is probably the most general way of describing it. But I get like a little spider sense. It says, okay, well, that's something that definitely I think I maybe should remember. And I mean, it's something that we've all, I think we've all been able to do since we were kids. But the thing is, you get older, you start being able to have the control and the ability and the responsibility and all of these different, power to a certain extent. You start to get these things, and then it just becomes a little bit more about like, okay, well, I know that this needs to be done here at this time now, and you might be right for a lot of those. You might be right for a majority of those, but it's not something where you're supposed to, I think, get away from that has lived before you, that still lives. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like there's roads you've just gone through. Like it's like life in a way is almost just in living it. Sometimes it feels like a war. It's not, but it's like it's a battle. It is in a way. It's like a battle. It's just a constant battle that every person who lives travels the road down, and that's the thing. You just keep seeing when you are in battle. One of the things that stands out probably the most on any veteran or such that's returned is like it's the images that's just kind of imprinted on your brain, like the stories that are imprinted in your brain. We all in some ways experience this just in living and having to live the life that we live. So it's just, a person who exists who has gone through that, has gone down that longer than you, there's still, should be something knowledgeable from that person that you maybe would benefit from seeing before you have to experience something, like in the same realm as that, possibly, if that's something that goes your way, or it could be something that can help you to maneuver past that when your road takes whatever journey it takes. So, and that never stops. Somebody who's in their 50s can, and if their parent isn't in a state of like senileness, if they're not at that point, that 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 knowledge that they could even get from their parent at that point, like say their parent is like 75, they're doing good, they're very healthy, their memory is intact, their everything is for the most part intact. It's just like, yeah, even for the 50-year-old, that parent that's 75, they can still benefit because there's a longer road that they've gone down. So like in that 25-year span, there's something knowledgeable or wise. We oftentimes attribute the journey and the age as you gain wisdom as you go. Maybe it is just all in the wheelhouse of wisdom, but there's something there that can be benefited. So just give yourself the patience, really think about what that exactly means, but give yourself the patience with the people who are older than you, your elders, and just what they have to say, respect and acknowledgement for the things that they have done. It fosters a positive energy within ourselves in regards to those people and individuals, and that oftentimes can affect the entire rhythm of the community that surrounds you. So it's a really important thing when you look at it from that perspective. And I just think that's maybe something that's worth considering. Um, that was let me see, what other point can I think about and kind of get to you guys. Again, I'm doing this on the fly, so I do apologize for that. Usually I do like to do this with like a little bit more critical thought and notation. Um, let me see. Patience. So patience is a big one. And then honor or heeding their advice is another one that tied into that last one. So what else can we add on to that? No, that another one that I guess I could elaborate a little bit more on, but I don't really have much to say, is understanding how much it does foster the right momentum shift within like the community that exists around you. That's why, honestly, especially as we get older in life, um, the sense of responsibility just starts to grow incredibly more, and like more really real things to life start to kind of take place um within our own lives, and it's like, whoa, like this is big, and then it makes you start thinking about other things that you maybe should be more responsible for. That's the thing that like happens as you age, as you get older. So anytime uh, anytime you can get anything that can kind of help you to understand like where you can ease a lot of maybe what might be that like constant rushing momentum, um anything that you can get for that, you got to be like, yeah, I can take it. Because I mean, it's not something, and it's just the reality of it, and it's a really frustrating reality. But living in society the way that we do, it be like, it really does almost become like stressors, just trying to figure out all of these things. um so it's like, yeah, if you can do something that can foster a better momentum within your community, which are the elders that are around you as well, or at least includes that, you gotta appreciate that. You really do. You just, you need to appreciate that, not bring a negative hostility to that, but instead bring a positive one for just the things that like it can do to improve everything. Oh, that's a really, yeah, that is, yeah. I don't know. It's worth thinking about, maybe, just a little bit. Everyone can think about it more. Sometimes even just in the way that we like behave, those things, they add negativity to those people older than you, and it's not exactly honoring them. So just kind of give it thought. For the younger, this is definitely one that I would recommend. People my age, or within the ballpark of my age and older, I don't know how much this one is going to hit for you, but it is a good time for you just to kind of like remember, oh, yeah, you know what? He's bringing up something that I haven't thought about in a long time. I think that's what this conversation really works for somebody my age and older. And I'm pressing 30, so I'll just say that much. I'm pressing 30 now, so anybody in that, it's like, but anybody younger than me, it's a wonderful time to just kind of start remembering that, especially if you like going into college, or even like just getting out of college. Probably those two points, those two inflection points specifically, is a good time to just like, if you in that part of your life right now, this is a good one to listen to, because you either need a kick in the butt with it. It's just a fact of life. Not all the time, but that's why there's an or to this. Or you also just kind of need a reminder of it, but it's such a great point in time to get that reminder, because the knowledge of the what you can, if you can like start figuring out how you can be a positive uh a positive point for the people older than you that are around you, that are a part of your community. If you can figure that out at just going into college or just getting out of college, then that is terrific. And look, it could be as simple as keeping up just like your grades and stuff, and communicating with the family and the people around you about that, and just calling and checking in. It could just be as simple as that. Like, it doesn't, I'm not trying to make this like a stressful thing for you. It's just the thinking about it from this conversation, you can probably kind of like figure out what you need to adapt into that. Just, yeah, give it some thought. Older people, again, you know, it's just good to remember, because honestly now too, it's you starting to really make memories, like like the last imprint of memories with those that are older than you. There's a lot of people, for a lot of us, that are getting old. Like, you're seeing people just disappear. They're gone. So for the older people, it's like, this is a good like check in, more or less. And yeah, just don't, no, like, honor them, respect them, so that way you can create a positive connection if you haven't, or you can maintain that positive connection, so that way there's so much more good memories that can form. And that's a really important thing. You probably are feeling it, you're getting older, and now it's like, oh dang, you didn't realize how, it's one of those things where, at least for me, I won't say for a lot of people, because that's not true. It's for me. um there were people who passed away when I was younger, but there wasn't a huge influx of it or concern for it. um as I got into my mid to late 20s, that is where it became like, oh wow, like, yeah, you just hear about these things a lot. So, it's really important. Just figure out whatever it means for you to honor your elders. Because they're getting old. They're just, some of them are, not all of them, but some of them are. So even just in talking about this, like, I'm thinking of people who maybe haven't even been in contact with in a while, that I would view as being an elder in my community. And I'm like, yeah, it'd probably be good just to give them a call, check in, just little things that really might mean something big in the grand scheme of it all. You just obviously don't see it yet, but trust me on this one. Or, consider me. Just consider me. I'm not here to be a harmful source. I just want to be a thought, I just want to be a thought bubble whenever I do these things. Um, we got good time, like I said, because I'm doing this on the fly. Well, we don't have good time. We kind of have good time. We're approaching good time, but I really don't know what else to talk about on this one. I mean, it's a lot of things that I still even personally need to, like, again, whenever I do these shows, I want to really make this clear. I really, really, really want to make this clear. Whenever I do these shows, like, there are oftentimes I'm saying this for somebody else to hear, but I am also saying this so I can, like, verbally almost hear myself like say these things again, because I need to improve a lot on them myself. So, there's certain people, even family or whoever, that it could be listening to this, people like family, who could be listening to me say this and be like, dang, but you kind of hypocritical. And it's like, I am, sure, I definitely, like I said, while I'm even talking about these things on here, I'm thinking about examples. So, like, I'm definitely in that ballpark as well, where it's like, I have a lot of work to do with these things. It's never, ever, ever, ever intended, whenever I say anything on here, for it to be uh, uh snotty, or thinking I have it all figured out, or anything that more or less exists in that realm. Never am I doing anything like that when I do this. These are things that I really do need to work on and improve on myself, and become more wise and knowledgeable on myself. If it involves reading up on it, talking to different new people about it, whatever. Again, no, this is me. It's a thought for everyone, including myself. That's really all that this is, and all that I really want this to be. Luckily I do talk a lot, so we are getting to a point now where we can pretty much for the most part wrap up. I want to make sure that I talk about everything that is going to be coming out, or that is coming out, or that we, that I and other people are working on under the umbrella that all of this is. So I'm going to use this time now to do that. Croco's Corner, I said in a previous show that I don't think, I'm gonna be doing a lot of like anime and comic book esque stuff on here, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick by that. There are things that I still want to talk about, but for the most part, a lot of the anime and comics and geek and pop culture esque things are to be from Squad Nero podcast. So anybody who's listening to this who, happens to be a Marvel fan, or happens to be My Hero Academia fan, or a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, or you know any of the words that have just come out of my mouth at all, I recommend you just go over to Squad Nero on Instagram. You can find us and then for YouTube, you can find us at Squad Nero 716. That's the YouTube channel. So if you want to watch any of our full at length shows, you can watch them there. Also on twitch.tv/smooth entertainment. 1 E between the smooth and the entertainment. So SMOOVENTERTAINMENT. I think I spelled that right. I might not have, and please don't make fun of me too much. It is, again, I was not expecting to do this show at the time that I'm doing it and day that I'm doing it on. So please forgive me. I am a mess a little bit right now. But yeah, those are the places where you can find those things. We're going to be doing more here. We're going to be doing more mental maintenance. Here we're going to be doing a new show that has never been done before, but I am still working it out. There's a lot more that I need to do with it. So, please be understanding in that. But it will be more material, more things for you to listen to, more thoughts, even not just from the mental maintenance side, but from the news and global news side and realm of things. I just want to look into more things for myself, and I'm like, okay, if I want to do it myself and I have a podcast, I should probably just share what I want to do with other people. Again, share the thoughts and the understandings and the whatever research, whatever that you find from it, right? So yeah, just be on the lookout for that as well. That is going to be called Croco Cares. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. All right, love and appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for another edition of Mental Maintenance. We are going to have more shows that are going to be coming out for you guys soon. Thank you again.